everybody, Joan Zodianz here, and welcome back to another episode of Spiritual Zundayz. So this week we're going to be talking about Mercury in retrograde, and we're going to be talking about Venus in Virgo because I messed up last week and I apologize for that. I did write a little description at the bottom of my last video to kind of tell you what that meant, but we'll go into more detail about it. And once again, we are going to be not just talking about astrology, we're going to be learning about astrology. So there you go. That's going to be my new saying. All right, first and foremost, thank you guys so much for allowing me into your sacred space tonight. I really do appreciate your time and your energy and all your love and support. If you have love and support from me, but if you don't, that's fine too. I don't know why, but whatever. So Mercury is going into a retrograde phase this Wednesday on the 14th. It's going to station direct on November 3rd. In between that time, Mercury in Scorpio will transition into Mercury in Libra near the end of this month. We have Venus in Virgo and we have Mars in Aries in a retrograde phase. So what does this all mean for you? When we talk about a retrograde, we're talking again about the dark side of that planet in that zodiac sign. And because we already talked about Mars in a retrograde phase and how we talked about Aries and Scorpio not being naturally compatible because it's fire and water, we know that there's already this friction happening. And when it goes into a Mercury retrograde, we're going to find that intensity will go all the way up to 100. We're going to have backwards thinking. We're going to have backwards intuition. Our thoughts and our actions, because of Mars in retrograde, are going to be very intense, okay? It's going to be very emotional. You're going to be emotionally driven to do things that you may not normally do, where you're going to feel, again, like something is wrong, and it very well could be, because during a Mercury retrograde, things in the dark that are hidden in the dark always come to the light. And if you were in denial about something, then that truth will appear during this time. If you have insecurities and you've been ignoring them, then that will also come to the surface as well. These things that you hid from yourself will come up to haunt you, whether it's in your waking life or whether it's going to be in your dreams. And when I say dreams, because Scorpio is known as the psychic zodiac sign, right? It's very intuitive, it's very spiritual. And so it links to the spiritual realm. It has a strong connection to the spiritual realm. And so we're going to have very vivid dreams, and we're probably going to have for some people are going to have very vivid nightmares. So how do we combat that, right? Luckily, we have Venus in Virgo. And when we have Venus in Virgo, it gives us that balance with that Mercury in Scorpio. It's going to give us structure in our relationships. So hopefully things won't be as bad in your personal life more than your work life. When we get to the work life, or when we start to socialize with people outside of our personal circle, we start to get very irritated by them, or we start to feel like stranger danger. And your intuition may just be off. However, it doesn't mean you need to go and start making friends with everybody that comes your way. I mean, we're still in a pandemic. A lot of us are still in lockdown or coming out of a lockdown. So we're all, still 6 feet away from one another with masks on. Hopefully you have a mask on. If you don't, your choice. I believe that everybody should have a choice to wear one or not. That's just how I feel. But I also feel like, be responsible, but I'm not going to say anything. Not going to say anything more than that. So with the Venus in Virgo, we find ourselves being more open and expressive, being more practical in our partnerships with other people, in our relationships. And this is the part where I say that things that were hidden will come to the light, because now you have that nice balance with Venus in Virgo to make very logical or rational decisions. So that will help us during this retrograde until Mercury goes into Libra. And then when it goes into Libra, I mean, we're kind of assed out. Just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm going to help you through it. So what do we do during a time like this? One, don't panic. Okay, whatever you do, don't panic. If something comes up or you start to feel like maybe your partner is doing something dirty, or maybe, your boss doesn't want you there, or maybe this, that, and the third. You could be overanalyzing a situation or overanalyzing a partnership that you have because of that Venus in Virgo. You could be thinking things that are not really there, or inventing things that because of your own insecurities. Okay. And you may want to vocalize or express these things, but it may not be the right time to do it during a retrograde phase. And the reason why it's not the right time to do it is because that other person is going to be thinking crazy things too. And it doesn't mean you can't talk things out. If the time comes, you need to talk it out, but be very civil and try to be relaxed and try to remember and have that energy awareness that if you start to feel triggered, you need to walk away very quickly. Or if you feel like they're being triggered or you're provoking them, you're pushing their buttons, you need to stop yourself so that it doesn't become an unnecessary confrontation. Okay, you don't want drama during this time, because during your Mercury retrograde, these things that happen will follow you after. And I try to tell people that all the time. Know your triggers, know other people's triggers, or if you don't know them, then try to just be considerate of people's feelings when they do tell you things, or when they do tell you their boundaries. Be considerate and respect other people's personal space, their personal boundaries, and their personal feelings. You can't go wrong with that. You really can't. You can't go wrong. With that being said, we still have that Mars in retrograde. So our thoughts and actions kind of start to become more one. How you're feeling inside or what you think about a person, it's easier to act on it. It's easier to act on it. So if you're feeling really like, I'm gonna do something, well, it's more likely that you will. But I'm saying, like, it could be a miscommunication between two people who are in their feelings and are very sensitive and are not capable of expressing themselves in words. Okay? They're more capable of showing you how they feel through physical pain. If you're going through a very emotional, stressful time and there's a lot on your mind and a lot weighing you down, then take this moment to take back your power. Take this moment to enforce your boundaries. You have to watch out for people that will try to manipulate your thoughts, manipulate your emotions, and try to manipulate you into thinking something is your fault when it's not. You have to watch out for people that will try to take advantage of you, or try to overpower you, or try to take your power from you. And that's why I'm telling you, this is a time, if you're feeling very weak, to strengthen yourself, to really confront the things that have been bothering you as a person and really transform into somebody you know that you should be. Not that you can be, because anybody can be anything that they want to be, but that you should be. Okay? And there's a clear line with that. You can't just continue to dwell in your negative emotions. You can't do it. You can't continue to tell yourself negative things about yourself. You can't keep doing it. Because the only person that's playing tricks on you is yourself. It doesn't matter what somebody else tells you. If you know yourself, if you're confident about yourself, if you have self-awareness, nobody can trick you. Nobody can pull one over on you. You're that confident that something is like, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm not doing that. And it's okay to say no. It really is. Generally speaking, a lot of these traumas that we've had growing up or recently will come forward, and we're going to have to deal with them one way or the other. There is no hiding. There is no ignoring it. There's no running from it. And a lot of people can say, well, you just forgive it and then forget it. You never forget the most traumatizing things that have ever happened to you. You never forget these things. You learn how to deal with these things. Okay? I got really tired of people telling me that. Like, oh, that happened in the past. That happened this time. You should just let things go. You can't just let things go, because they made you who you are today. And people out there who try to dismiss how you feel and try to invalidate how you feel are the worst kinds of people to me. I'm sorry, but it's fact. Like if you sit there and your friend is, expressing how they feel, and you could sit there and just be, oh, well, that happens, so blah, 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 and then not care about how it's affecting them today in present time, then I'm sorry, but I'm not your friend. I can't be, and I'm not going to be somebody's friend like that. I'm sorry. It's all about healing. In present time, healing the past, and healing your future, because it's going to continue to follow you. Okay, it's going to continue to follow you. And that's why I have anxiety and depression. There's so many things that have happened in my past that still continue to haunt me today. But it not in a way where it's debilitating me. Not in a way where it's preventing me from being successful or preventing me from being a better person. In fact, it makes me a better person because I know what not to do. So I encourage you, really look at your past and see yourself as a survivor, not a victim of it. You are not a victim of what other people did to you. You are a survivor. Okay? You survived it. You learned. You're stronger now. You're wiser now. You're not going to do that to other people. Hopefully not. But you're going to be a better person because you are telling yourself you're going to be a better person. Nobody else is going to do that for you. And I'm saying all of this because we're all going to be thinking this way as we shift into that retrograde. These negative thoughts are going to come creeping up and we have to deal with it. But in this time, please ask yourself, who should you be? Tomorrow, this week, this month, who should you be? Why should you be that for yourself? You're not doing it for anybody else. Right? We're not using people as a crutch. We're not going to use our kids as a crutch. We're not going to use our husbands as a crutch. We're not using anybody as a crutch. We are telling ourselves who we should be for ourselves. What makes us happy? What makes us sad? What makes us feel the best? What makes us feel the worst? All right? So take the time to really journal that. Really journal that. Once you cleanse yourself, you cleanse your spirit, you cleanse your energy, then you're going to feel lighter, you're going to feel good, you're going to feel at peace, you're going to feel like, okay, I've dealt with it. You're going to feel stronger. And that gives room for manifestation, right? Because you can't manifest anything if you're sitting in shit. I'm going to say it. You can't manifest anything. I'm going to quote that. You can't manifest anything if you're sitting in manure. You can't do it. Okay? You're not motivated. You're not motivated to pick up and do anything because you're sitting in your own shit. So that's all I have to say about that. I wanted to invite you guys. Again, I have Cosmic Clan, which is my monthly membership on my website, Zodianz.com. And I'm starting to restructure everything. So Mondays we do a live stream. It's going to be a group live stream where we all do this it's kind of like a healing circle. So if you're into tarot or spirituality or you're into channeling messages, then we all are going to be sitting down with one another and just really giving each other advice and really helping each other through anything that we're going through, and building that kind of community where we feel safe and we feel protected, and we're not going to be judged for our beliefs or our spiritual beliefs. And then we're going to be learning how to overcome these things. So if you're interested, you're interested. If you're not, you're not. It's not going to hurt my feelings if you're not. And I wish you guys healing. I wish you guys love and support. If you don't have anybody, I know how that feels. So I'm going to give it to you, your love and support. Here you go. We're sharing. We're sharing. And I wish you guys nothing but the best. So see you next week. Bye.